Good morning. My name is Mark Talbot, the principal of Pembroke High School. It is my great pleasure to welcome you here today to this very special day. Not just any Saturday. Today is the birthday of Brad Hardigan, Tommy Lagner, and Sean McGuire. Happy birthday, gentlemen. It is my pleasure to welcome you to the ceremonies commemorating the graduation of the class of 2018. To get the morning started, it's my pleasure to introduce class president, Francis Campbell.
At this time, would all senior members of the Chamber Singers please report to the risers?
At this time, I ask all guests to also please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, the singing of our national anthem, and our alma mater.
Stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave? Proudly we sing to the pride of Pembroke. We'll join our voices in tuneful song. Firmly we stand with the strength of spirit. We sing to Pembroke loud and strong. Stand tall for Pembroke, all for Pembroke, dressed in the colors white and blue. When traditions start anew, we sing to Pembroke loud and true, loud and true.
Please remain standing. At this time, I would like to introduce the Vice President of the Class of 2018, Sam Goodman.
Good morning. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please be seated.
members of the Board of Selectmen, School Committee Chair, Mr. Chilcott, and the members of the school committee, Superintendent Obie, Mr. Talbot, faculty, staff, family, and invited guests, and members of the class of 2018. Thank you for coming and for your support throughout these past 4 years. Class of 2018, welcome to the end of a journey. Welcome to the summit of high school. Welcome to something new. Today, we are being recognized for accomplishing something pretty impressive. We have all conquered 17 or 18 years of this adventure we call life. As we stand at the summit of high school, we find new paths to set off on. Mine different from yours, and yours different from the person next to you. You are each unique in so many ways, and so are the paths that you decide to take today, tomorrow, and each day that follows. Many of you may be sitting here ready to leave this place behind, never to look back. But before you do, I want to give you a couple things to think about as you climb your next mountain in your life's adventure. First, do not fear hardship. It is the times that force us to fight the most that teach us the most. At the beginning of the school year, we chose senior quotes. And today, I find my senior quote from Winston Churchill to be quite fitting for this point. A pessimist sees the difficulty in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every difficulty. Don't worry, I may have messed it up. I'll say it again later. Throughout this high school journey, I am sure we have all thought of walking out of here, throwing in the towel, and calling it quits. But we didn't. We prevailed through endless papers, tragic drama, and some of us, the college application process. The irksome tasks and weighty responsibilities that we have endured thus far have led us to the summit of high school. And like I said, that's pretty impressive. But I would be naive to tell you that we are ready to face anything life can throw at us, because we are not. We are going to run into some situations that we never could have seen coming, and that's okay, because it is the determination that each of us have that will allow us to prevail against those unforeseen challenges of the future. When the going gets tough and things get difficult, do not give up in your fight. When at last you reach your next summit, you will be able to look back and realize all that you have gained from your rocky ascent to success. Listen again to that quote. I'll try not to mess it up, but a little different this time. A pessimist sees the hardship in every opportunity. An optimist sees the opportunity in every hardship. For that reason, I challenge you, class of 2018, to take on hardships with a grin on your face, knowing that you will prevail and be changed for the better. This wind, oh my gosh. P.S. You don't have to face the hardships alone. That being said, the second thing I want you to think about is to stop and ask for help when you need it. Nobody is meant to get through this life on their own. And I know for a fact that I fail to do this constantly. What can I say? I'm a teenager who thinks he can do everything on his own. Not only does that make my life harder, but it also makes things harder for those wanting to help. Sorry, Mom and Dad. Listen, the help is there, and all you have to do is ask. You'd be surprised by how many people would be happy to help you. There's no shame in asking, and you are the only one holding you back. For that reason, I challenge you to overcome your stubborn teenage tendencies and reach out to those around you. They're there for a reason. Now that, my friends, is my advice to you. And if you already can't remember a word I've said, 1, get that checked out. And 2, I'll give you some spark notes. there's no reason to fear the hardships of life, because hardship is where the best opportunities hide. And remember to ask for help, because nobody is meant to get through this life on their own. My fellow Pembroke graduates, wow, actually sounds real when you say it like that. Congratulations, we actually did it. But now I'd like to say sayonara. Let's be honest, you don't have to go home, but I sure hope you won't stay here. At this time, I would like to introduce the chairman of the Pembroke Public Schools School Committee, Mr. Patrick Chilcott.
Class of 2018, on behalf of the Pembroke Public Schools, on behalf of the school committee, I congratulate you. Many of you know, for me, this graduation is quite personal. I know almost everybody in this class. Half of them have grown up in my kitchen. And you know, this class has been called a lot of things. They've been the bubble class, the class that has the multiples in it. This class tied a world record for having the most multiples in any one class. But the thing that I find about you as a class is what I've heard since kindergarten. You were always the class that everyone commented about how kind you were, about how gentle you were, about there weren't a lot of cliques. You were just a class that came together. And as I thought about what I wanted to talk about today, and I really, struggled a little bit because this is personal, and I'm going to ask you to indulge me just a bit. I was given a piece of advice about 32 years ago when I sat right where you were sitting from my mother. And my mother said to me, she said, Patrick, always make sure that your house is open to your children's friends. I didn't understand it. Quite honestly, I was like, yeah, Mom, whatever. We always had a good time here. And as I grew older and my kids grew, even from the time they were very little, I had this little girl, Kayla, who lived down the street from us, who would be afraid to talk to me because I was an adult. I had Abby, who thought she could luge on a skateboard and almost lost a tooth. As my girls hit middle school, Bridget in the house constantly with a giggle that was just infectious. And then they hit high school, and most of the track team lived at my house and rented movies when they weren't supposed to that I paid for, and a whole slew of things. But I had to push Roman to eat something. Who knew an Italian kid wouldn't eat, right? I made football bets because, as most of you know, I'm a beloved Bills fan, with DJ, who would try and rub my nose in the fact that my team just cannot seem to beat yours ever this year. But what I did is I got a gift. My kids gave me a gift because I listened to the advice of a really smart woman. And I made sure my house was open to my children's friends. You're all going to leave today and do something incredible. It could be work, it could be college, it could be a vocation. And for those of you who are going to protect this country, I completely salute you and I thank you. So go off and make your name. The other thing she told me is live. Make sure you live. Enjoy yourself. Have an opinion. Don't be afraid to think. But most of all, know that you have a home to come back to. This will always be home. You can always come back. You can maybe come back with a family, even make Pembroke great again. But at the end of the day, this is always going to be your home. We will always accept you. But more importantly today, I salute you. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Apparently my phone's telling me it's time to wake up. At this time, I would like to introduce Superintendent of the Pembroke Public Schools, Mrs. Erin Obie.
Good morning. It is my pleasure and honor to welcome you to the graduation of Pembroke High School's class of 2018. Graduates, this is your day. This is your moment. Enjoy it. Your victory, your great achievement. It's the climax of your years of formal schooling, your payoff for all that work and overcoming all those challenges you faced. Your individual and collective achievements give meaning to my work and that of all the adults in the district. Take a moment this morning and look back on your journey. A journey that started with the small, tentative steps of a kindergartner. Looking out into the sea of blue and white, I see how far you have progressed. You possess the pride and confidence of a high school graduate. It has been an honor and a privilege to be a part of your journey. A journey filled with wonderful memories of all those who have supported you throughout your education in Pembroke. Your parents have helped you, encouraged you, picked you up when you fell down, and loved you unconditionally. Our many talented teachers and staff have helped you to discover your abilities and to develop an inquiring mind. Although you are moving on beyond high school, those same teachers will remember you, hoping their encouragement has traveled with you on your journey. Then, of course, there are your friends who surround you today. Some of those friendships might be relatively new or may extend to your preschool days. Nurture those friendships and carry them forward as new people enter your life. There are so many wonderful memories you've collected. Treasure them all. Today concludes a significant and wonderful chapter of your life. An equally significant and wonderful chapter is about to begin. A chapter to be written with the adventures of the adults you are becoming. You are leaving a world where others have made decisions for you. You're about to leave your comfort zone. Soon you'll be making decisions, solving problems, deciding which road to travel. It sounds exciting, and it will be, but it will also have its challenges. When you are challenged or discouraged, I hope you'll remember your years in Pembroke and the lessons that you learned at home and in school. They will give you strength and courage. Have faith in yourself and the unique individual you are. Be true to yourself. Instead of the world changing you, you can help change the world. Your family has nurtured you, Pembroke Public Schools has guided you, and now it's your turn to identify and acknowledge your strengths, talents, and interests. Find what you love, be passionate about it, and learn all you can. Be kind, considerate, and positive. Take time for others. Be an active member of your community and volunteer your time. There's a great need for generous, caring people in this world. I'd like to congratulate not only our graduating seniors, but each of you in the audience. Without your love and support, their success would not have been possible. Congratulations, class of 2018.
At this time, I would like to introduce the principal of Pembroke High School, Mr. Mark Talbot.
I'm going to paperclip this script up here so Frankie doesn't have to fumble through the pages every time he comes up here. School Committee Chair, Mr. Chilcott, members of the school committee, members of the Board of Selectmen, Superintendent Obie, faculty, staff, family and friends, and members of the class of 2018. Welcome. Before we go much further into our celebration of this senior class, I was hoping to pause for a bit. This whole week, and in fact, many of the days to come, will be rightfully about congratulating you and celebrating your accomplishments. You deserve those celebrations for sure. However, at this time, I'm hoping that each of you will look around. Literally, look around. Look behind you, look to your left and to your right. Look down here to the left of the stage. Somewhere there are people here today that have helped you get to where you are right now. Or maybe that someone is not here for a variety of reasons. But I'm asking you to acknowledge that those people exist. I ask at this time that you please stand. Turn, find those people, and join me in thanking them for their efforts. Thank you. And while we're on the topic of thanks, I too would like to thank so many people that have made every element of this day possible. First, I want to thank Mr. Ricks and Ms. Kelly, our two assistant principals. I want to thank them for their assistance in planning and troubleshooting every element of senior week. There are a lot of moving parts that goes into these events, and I have two of the best in the business helping making all those parts line up. I also want to thank our athletic director and facilities manager, Justin Dominguez, and his staff for their efforts in making today possible. Nothing that you see today happens without their efforts. Specifically, I want to thank Mike Dorgan, Mike Evans, Bob Cosby, Chris Callanan, Jess Mullins, Diane Elliott, and Ken O'Donnell. Think about where all of you were at 4 a.m. I can tell you where they were, and I have text messages from Ed Rizzitano to prove it. I also want to thank Pembroke Youth Soccer President Don McAuliffe for a cooperation today, rescheduling some youth soccer games for later on so we could access Learning Lane, minimize traffic, and maximize parking. She is the true definition of a community partner. We owe Officer Steve Kirby and the members of the Pembroke Police Department a great deal of thanks for helping us move safely in and out of here this morning. I want to thank Gwen Chapman, Austin Glass, and Johnny Gill for ensuring everything sounds just right this morning. Gwen and Austin for their work with our talented performers, and Johnny for his work with everything that requires electricity. A very special thanks must go out to two people in particular, two people who above all else have done so much to make today happen. I've already mentioned Ed Rizzitano, our athletic custodian, and Kathy Lanzarato, my administrative assistant. It would be impossible for me, yes, thank you, yes, yep. It would be impossible for me to itemize the number of mistakes and missteps I have made over the past few weeks, and really since Wednesday in particular, and every one of them have been caught by Ed or Kathy. I feel as though I must have asked both of them, can I ask you just one more thing, about 1 million times since Wednesday, and every time I did so, they have come through as if it was the first time I had asked them for anything. There was a string of text messages between Ed and I that started last night at about 6 o'clock, and one between Kathy and I at about 7 o'clock, and those messages kept going all through the night. Finally, I want to thank the class advisors for the class of 2018, Miss Andrea Logan and Miss Danielle Budak. Because of your patience, dedication, and flat-out hard work, you have guided this group through the past 4 years of Spirit Weeks, homecoming dances, fundraisers, proms, senior breakfasts, senior field days, senior dinner dances. You two know better than most how tiring and maybe even frustrating it can be to be a class advisor. I am sure there are many times over the past 4 years you thought about stepping down, but you did not. And I suspect that's because you love these young men and women as much as anyone. Thank you for everything you've done with these students to make their 4 years here so great. They have had some very memorable times because of you. Thank you very much. Speaking of memorable, if this whole entire stage blows over, that will be one heck of a memory. But memorable is a nice segue as we turn our attention now back to the class of 2018, because I think it's the perfect word to describe them. They are memorable. They have done memorable things. For example, when this class were only freshmen, they contributed mightily to the last girls indoor and boys outdoor track and field state championships, and they did so as freshmen. And it was at that time we knew that there was something special. In fact, 10 students sitting here before you today heading off to Fitchburg State University this afternoon to participate in the state track and field championships, two of whom will be leaving early, getting their diplomas out of alphabetical order, and as soon as we take and shake, they are going to take off from here to get to Fitchburg by their 2 p.m. sign-in deadline. This class has produced the first acceptance to the All-State Art Program in Pembroke High School history. This class has produced 2 students to be accepted to the Ivy League schools. This class has produced an appointee to the United States Naval Academy. And there are 2 more who have earned tens of thousands of dollars, as we learned the other night, in Navy and Air Force ROTC scholarships. This class has produced an all-state chorus invitee. This class boasts the all-time leading scorer in Pembroke High School basketball history. As Mr. Chilcott alluded to in his speech, this class almost made it to the Guinness Book of World Records. We are going to miss those multiples in every part of our day, with the absolute exception of the parking lot and learning lane. Right? I could go on and on about this class, but suffice it to say, this class needs to make a promise to me today. Please promise me you will stay in touch. You are destined for greatness, all of you. We know it. It's important to me that you keep us in the loop as you make those steps towards success. Some of you undoubtedly will not need to contact me, because I feel as though your success will be able to be followed through mainstream media. I think I'll be reading about you in the paper or watching you on the news. The performing arts talents of Emma Murphy and Brianna Price come to mind immediately. I have no doubt I'll always see them on TV somewhere. I have no doubt about that. Don't you just feel as though the futures in computer science of Jimmy Milanazzo and Daisy Farrell are going to play out on the world of social media somewhere? Can't you see Nick Adams' commitment to public service being covered by the Boston Globe or the New York Times? I have no doubt that at some point in my life I'll be sitting across from the South Shore Plaza at that movie theater up there watching a movie, and in the credits along will scroll the name of Sean McGuire for playing some sort of role in that production. Of course, those in this class know the South Shore Plaza means a great deal to me. Don't make me recap the holiday seasons of 1983 and 84 and what went on in that mall at that time. But many of you are going to achieve success through a different measurement. It does not mean that you have to be famous. Greatness and success is an individual term applied as individuals see fit to apply it. And it's those folks that must uphold their promise to stay in touch with me. I need Brittany Frisbee to stay in touch so I can learn what an inspiring music educator she will become. I need Chaz Wright to stay in touch with me so I can sleep well at night, knowing that through his cyber watch and threat prevention, we'll all be comfortable. Now, Chaz, that does not mean I want you to spy on me. I just want you to keep me safe. Dylan Lennon, please stay in touch with me. Your achievements here at PHS have been remarkable, and your perseverance and stick-to-itiveness are admirable. I, for one, am very interested in seeing what's in store for you next. Nick Lane, I hope that at some... Yes, sure. Nick Lane, I hope that at some Thanksgiving Day you'll be standing right next to me as we watch Pembroke High School beat Silver Lake in the fashion that we did this year, and hopefully someone else can bowl over a defender at the goal line the way you did, in a way that makes Bo Jackson proud. Luke Carroll, my man, you have got to stay in touch with me. I have got to know what the world has in store for you. I've got to know what you have in store for the world, Luke, okay? So I'm going to go off script here a little bit, right? So I started teaching in 1991, and probably in 1991, I started what I call the A file, and the A file stands for absurd. And I was advised to do that by a mentor of mine, and I just would stick things in there over the course of the past 26 years, 27 years of things that I'm going to look back on when I retire, I'm going to laugh about them without any question. No one knows what's in there but me. It's a nice file. It's relatively thick after 27 years. And it's with great pleasure that I announce that this class produces the first student to be in there twice. and that's Luke Carroll. And we love Luke. And at the time, I was not particularly pleased when he jumped in Walden Pond on a field trip. I look back at that now, though, and I think, all right, I can live with that. I can live with that. Luke, please keep us in mind as you progress through life, and please let us know what you're up to. And right now, I am secretly wondering how many of you are wondering, am I in that absurd file? No, no. And with that, my friends, I simply say to you, good luck. Contrary to what Frankie just said, I do think you're ready. This is a fantastic class filled with promise, and I cannot wait to see you achieve it. Best of luck to all of you. Thank you very much.
At this time, I ask that the chamber singers return to the risers, where they will perform Breakaway under the direction of Mrs. Gwen Chapman.
Dreaming of what could be, and if I'd end up happy, I would pray. Trying not to reach out, but when I tried to speak out, felt like no one could hear me. Wanted to belong here, but something felt so wrong here, so I'd pray I could break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Make a wish, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun, but I won't forget all the ones that I love. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Wanna feel the warm breeze, sleep under a palm tree, feel the rush of the ocean. Get on board a fast train, travel on a jet plane far away, and break away. I'll spread my wings and I'll learn how to fly. I'll do what it takes till I touch the sky. Make a wish, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Out of the darkness and into the sun, but I won't forget all the ones that I love. Take a risk, take a chance, make a change, and break away. Buildings with 100 floors, swinging round revolving doors. Maybe I don't know where they'll take me, but gotta keep moving on, fly away.
It gives me great pleasure to now introduce members of the senior class that have earned the honor of representing their classmates here today. First, please welcome class valedictorian, Jackson Saia.
Thank you, Frank, for the introduction. I want to take a moment to express my gratitude, and for all of us to thank everyone who got us to this point in so many different ways. Our teachers, the administration, our coaches, our parents, caregivers and families, all of our friends and peers, thank you. Do not underestimate the magnitude of the accomplishment that we are all here today to celebrate. A high school diploma, no matter what you plan to do after this graduation ceremony, is something to be extremely proud of. It is not worthless. I am proud of everyone in this audience. Your parents, caregivers, families, and friends are all proud of you. Your teachers and the school administration are proud of you. It is not due to mere chance that we all stand in our cap and gown, ready to be congratulated with this slip of paper. Each and every one of you has spent 5 days a week, 10 months a year, for the past 4 years of your life at this school. You have toiled over the struggles of standardized testing, from MCAS to the SAT. You have endured countless hours of lectures and homework. The significance of a high school degree is undervalued and underappreciated in all socioeconomic and social statuses. From these past 4 years, you have gained a wealth of knowledge far greater than that of billions of people around the world. I can't even remember the last time that my parents were able to help me with my homework. You know more about math, the quadratic formula, and many other subjects than your parents ever did. With my very limited experience in the world outside of high school at 18 years old, I'm really in no better position to offer advice to all of you than anyone else in this audience. I do know, however, that each and every one of you has a dream, a passion that can captivate and consume you in the face of an infinitely expanding universe. Very few in this world ever even attempt to chase their dream, let alone realize it. It's easier just to settle for what is guaranteed and secure. But with the end of your life being your only due date, is there really any excuse? As many of you know, I'm crazy about snowboarding. One of my favorite snowboard coaches used to say, if you're not scaring yourself at least once a day, then you're not getting better. The lack of such an attitude is what stands between so many people and their dream. The inner battle to be better than you were the day before. But it won't for us. We are already pushing ourselves and pursuing our passions. Some of you are going to college or attending a trade school. Some of you are getting a job, entering the military, and even starting your own business. Each of us has the ability to pursue whatever it is that we truly want to do or strive to be. The expectations that the world may have for you do not have to be your dreams. Do what you want to do. Be who you want to be. Congratulations to all of us for such a great 4 years and for this amazing accomplishment. Thank you, and never forget, they're out there.
At this time, I would like to introduce our class salutatorian, Ethan Rankin.
Thank you, Frank, and good morning, everyone. Let me first say thank you to Principal Talbot, to all my teachers, mentors, family and friends, and especially to my parents for all of their tireless support and dedication throughout the years. Our class has been saying a lot of thank yous lately, as we look back at the people who have been there for us throughout these past 4 years and our entire lives. We've said thank you to moms, to dads, grandparents, teachers, coaches, friends, and many more. We've formed so many relationships with people throughout high school, although sometimes they're easy to forget. We get caught up in what we can quantify, in what seems more real. An A in a class, a personal record on the track, or even the diploma soon to be in our hands. These are amazing accomplishments, but we cannot forget that behind every success are the relationships with those who have provided the support needed to reach our goals. With any goal that we set for ourselves, whether that be graduating from college, starting a career, taking care of our families, or whatever our calling in life may be, we must first start by building strong relationships with the people who will get us there. For those of you going to college, this means getting to know your professors and letting them get to know you. Stop by after their class. Raise your hand if they ask for volunteers. These little things take time and effort, but they are vital to our future success. The trust and respect that you build between you and those around you will only be an asset to you, one that will pay off down the road. Whether it be your professor, your boss, or another authority figure, your relationship with them is one of the most important investments you will make in the years to come. Of course, when we think of the important people in our lives at Pembroke High School, we think of our friends. When I think of my friends, I think of people that I can't imagine life without. It's easy to take for granted how critical a role our friends have played in our daily lives, and we truly would not have made it this far without them. We found our classrooms together on those first anxious days of high school. We went to them when we needed help with homework we hadn't done or a test we hadn't started studying for. And as we leave high school, we must always remember to keep these relationships strong, because there will be many times when we need our friends in the years ahead. We'll face moments of stress, anxiety, or even desperation that we'll overcome because we have people in our lives that care about us and that will always be there to provide the love and support that we need. So spend the time and put in the effort to keep in touch, to text them, to call them, meet up with them. These simple acts are a small price to pay to maintain the friendships that have meant so much to us these past 4 years. If I could give only one line of advice to all of you, it would be this. Seek out these relationships. Seek out the people who make doing hard things worth it, who motivate you to push yourself to a point you never could have alone. If you've already found them, don't let them slip away. Keep your focus on the people around you just as much as the goals in front of you. Find your coaches, find your mentors, find your leaders, and find your friends. Trust that if you surround yourself with the right people, the rest will fall into place. Thank you again to the entire Pembroke community, and good luck to all of you.
I'm just not gonna. At this time, I would like to introduce our class orator, Courtney Riser.
Oh, it's great to see everyone here today. I can't believe looking around. I thought when I got up here I wouldn't see any familiar faces, but boy, let me tell you, it's so great to see all of you here today. You too, everyone. I'd like to thank everyone for coming. Before I start, I'd just like to say a quick thank you to all the teachers, faculty, and staff here at Pembroke High School who have encouraged us to believe in ourselves maybe when we didn't believe in ourselves, when we had moments of these doubt. And I'd also like to thank the parents and guardians here today and friends and just everyone. You have all helped change not only my life, but everyone here. So thank you. So now here comes the hard part, the speech. Author Dara Horn once stated, "Every person has a legacy. You may not know what your impact is, and it may not be something that you can write on your tombstone, but every person has an impact on the world." When I read this quote, I wondered, what defines a legacy? What makes a successful legacy one that you can look back on with pride? I believe that legacy is something that people will remember you for. something that you leave behind that shows what type of person you truly were on this earth. There'll be many great Titans that'll come after us in Pembroke High School. What will they remember about the class of 2018? Future Titans will not just remember our class as a class that looks so much alike, because we have 16 sets of twins and a set of triplets. Although I do believe that is an interesting fun fact to know. No, our legacy will have been leaving behind an exemplary example of what a true leader is. They'll remember our class as a class that was compassionate and enthusiastic, a class filled with students always eager to find new and efficient ways to create change and to help our community. Although our legacy as students at Pembroke High School is now set because we are graduating, we are just beginning to mold our own personal legacies in life. Wherever you go in life, whatever you choose to do, I implore you to go with courage, compassion, to live each moment trying to help others in your community, and to give more than you take. Our legacy here at PHS began to be forged when we first arrived at this school 4 years ago as freshmen. For most of us, the first day was filled with an overwhelming amount of anxiety and with many obstacles that had to be faced, such as trying to find our way around the building, which at the time we felt was so big that we needed a GPS to navigate our way around. We were trying to differentiate who was a teacher and who was just a really tall senior with a beard. During sophomore year, we were focused on trying to solve proofs in geometry and memorize a periodic table in chemistry, and we're trying not to cause a catastrophe with the Bunsen burners. There was a couple close calls, but we made it, we survived. Then the true test of what we could handle came, junior year, a turning point for all of us. We were now upperclassmen. Junior year was laden with responsibility, surpassing any amount ever previously bestowed upon us. We were faced with the challenges of getting driver's licenses, trying to get the perfect SAT scores, and realizing we had to work hard in our classes and could no longer coast by because of increased expectations in order to encourage us to become more critical and independent students and to prepare us for real-life experiences. Yet, through all these trials and tribulations, we pursued, we took a risk. Maybe took an honors or AP class, or tried out for one of the various sports teams. We dared to put ourselves out there through activities like performing in drama, band, or orchestra. Some of us left our marks by painting murals around the school, which will invite and inspire students for many future classes to come. We became leaders through clubs like NHS, Key Club, Best Buddies, and Student Council. We took the initiative to help our community by doing multiple book and food drives. We helped raise money to help find a cure for breast cancer or pediatric cancer, and to help victims of Hurricane Harvey. We made a bold statement and made our voices clear when it came to showing our dedication to school safety, when over 800 of us united together and stood tall to remember the 17 victims lost at Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School. We showed we wouldn't sit idly by as tragedy struck, that we would exercise our voices and help lead the way for change. We came together not only as teammates and classmates, but also as friends. Most importantly, we all grew as people, learning that we are stronger together than alone. In the future, there will be times when we all doubt if we can continue on, when we'll just want to quit. When this self-doubt arises, do not fear it, embrace it, and use it to drive you. For fear is a state of mind. It cannot physically hurt you. Fear can be a heavy burden, but use its weight to make you stronger. Do not fear to fail, fear giving up and wasting a chance to contribute to the improvement of your community. No matter what, we have all forged a legacy here at Pembroke High School. And when you leave this school for the last time as a student, remember to continue forging that legacy you cultivated here in all that you pursue. Continue promoting the values you learned as a Titan, not for glory, money, or fame, because in life, true success is not measured by materialistic gain. It does not matter how many likes you got on Instagram or how many streaks you got on Snapchat, but rather by how many hearts you have touched and how you helped make the world a better place than when you found it. These moments of human compassion are what help define a legacy. In life, do not strive to be a great person. Strive to be an upstanding, decent person. Strive, as Gandhi once said, to be the change you wish to see in the world. A person who works hard and works towards making others' lives better. Remember that success does not have to be flashy. Even just a simple smile can have the power to change someone's day for the better. As you grow your successful careers, remember, as Bob Dylan once said, you are better than no one, and no one is better than you. Finally, remember that legacy is not something you plan. Don't focus on trying to be remembered or on trying to be great, because greatness is not something that can be artificially formed. Instead, focus on helping others and those less fortunate than you. And when everything is said and done, you'll end up having an amazing legacy, one that anyone would be proud of. Congratulations, class of 2018.
Before we move on to the issuance of diplomas, I would like to take a moment for a special recognition. It is with deep humility and great pleasure that I share with you that several members of the class of 2018 have committed to serve our nation as members of our armed forces. This sacrifice to protect the freedoms we so deeply cherish is worthy of our deepest gratitude and recognition. At this time, I ask all members of the class of 2018 that will soon serve as members of our armed forces to please rise. Thank you. It is now time to award the class of 2018 their diplomas. And to do that, I would like to introduce Assistant Principal David Ricks.
Francis Campbell. Samantha Elizabeth Goodman. Olivia D. Chilcott. Roman Worthy Fratazio. Paige L. Petrazak. Samuel Douglas Brown. Jackson S. Saia. Ethan F. Rankin. Courtney A. Riser. Nicholas R. Adams. Riley Ann Bowen. Noah E. Gordon. William R. Richards. Michael S. Ahola. Davis Joseph Altamonte. Ileana Joy Anastasio. Cameron C. Anderson. Tyler Joseph Archibald. Taylor Alicia Armstrong. Andrew J. Aroni. Corey D. Arscott. Nicole Morgan Baird. Jacob Banks. Julia Lynn Barry. Joseph Edward Benting. Angela R. Bird. Sophia Mary Bolger. Claudia Margaret Boutwell. Elizabeth Bowen. Jacob D. Bonus. Keith Andrew Brash. Elizabeth Hennessy Brown. Justin Stephen Budak. Zaylene Hunter Burnham. Brian Thomas Burns. Dylan Joseph Burns. Catherine Jean Kniff. Camden Joseph Kappa. Colton Edward Kappa. Joseph G. Kappa. Cameron W. Carter. Hope Ashley Shelley. Meredith Charlson. Tess Murphy Chilcott. Jacqueline F. Cristello. Lillian Rose Cristello. Amy M. Sincata. Michael Joseph Sapulo. Nicole Elizabeth Cobb. Aaron Matthew Camiso. Corey Joseph Compercio. Brendan J. Costello. Allison L. Coyle. Vincent J. Coyle. Michael Cranston. Kelly Samantha Cunningham. Michael Curry. Sean M. Dalquist. Peyton Lynn Davenport. Christian W. Dawes. Paul Henry DeSantis. Joseph Francis Rocky Donovan. Jared T. Dubois. Coleman Michael Erner. Aaliyah Marie Elsner. Abel Alfredo Irazo. Lindsay Nicole Everson. Maha M. Ezeldine. Maya M. Ezeldine. Lauren Ann Fabian. Lindsay Ann Fabian. Kyle L. Fabrizio. Robert Alexander Faraday. Frankie Lawrence Falcone. Jessica Fano. Daisy A. Farrell. Brianna Joelle Fay. Liam J. Fay. Brianna Grania Ferrick. Laurel Flaherty. David M. Flannery, Jr. Lauren Lita Freely. Brittany Jean Frisbee. Anna Elizabeth Fertney. Justin Michael Geiser. Jacob D. Gallinger. Mary Catherine Gannon. Valerie Jane Gardner. Brady Scott Gary. Emma Cecile Garneau. Bryce Alexander Garvey. Cameron Allen Gates. Jeremy R. Gentile. Megan Elizabeth Gentile. Aiden Paul Glenn. Megan Kathleen Glenn. Madden L. Godfrey. Taylor Lynn Goodrow. Abigail R. Guthrow. Zachary Keith Graves. Emma Catherine Grimm. Caitlin Lee Guerra. Cassidy Gumares. Ryan Michael Gumares. Emily Kirsten Hall. Robert H. Ham. Molly Hanrahan. Bradford W. Hardigan. Stephen T. Hatch. John Gerard Heron. Brianna Ray Henrick. Christina Marie Hickey. Kimberly S. Hickey. Thomas K. Hickey. Alexander Talbot Hodge. Nathan D. Horner. Zachary R. Horvath. Samantha Lynn Howie. Griffin Dennis Hunt. Thomas Christopher Hunt. Hannah Elizabeth Johnson. Stephanie M. Johnson. Eric Kaplowitz. Greg Kaplowitz. Luke Stanley Carroll. Cameron D. Kelbaugh. Quinn Ian Kelly. Justin R. Kemp. Caroline Mary Kroon. Thomas Lagner. Madison May Lai.
Charlene Mary Lamagna. Nicholas Patrick Lane. Riley Larson. Erin Ashley Latwis. Christina Rose Lavalley. Evan Reed LeBlanc. Dylan J. Leonard. John R. Leonard. Lauren Julia Mai Sam Lang. Abigail Laurie Lucas. Juliet M. Lundberg. Jessica Jordan Lynch. Eliana Danielle Maluli. James George McDonald. Sarah Lynn McDonald. Molly Isabel McDonnell. Brian D. Marshall. Jean Marie Amy Marshall. Matthew T. Marshall. Kristen Patricia Martin. Mitchell Martin. Brianna T. Mastromarino. John C. McCarthy. Maxwell Owen McCarthy. Zachary Orion McCleary. Laura Claire Jones McHugh. Erin Catherine McGinnis. Sean Paul McGuire. Brooke Marie McIsaac. Caitlin M. McKinney. Sean M. McSweeney. Amy Merlin. James R. Milanazzo. Cara Jane Milton. Julia Catherine Moe. Kira Jessica Moore. Kayla Marie Malika. Alexis M. Monty. Grace Elizabeth Monty. Madison Ray Monty. Jacqueline Rose Moran. Brian Peter Morley. Callie Ann Morse. Kyle Mosier. Jeremy J. Moylan. Patrick James Mulhern. Brandon Patrick Murphy. Brendan Murphy. Emma Christine Murphy. Hannah Rose Murphy. Shane P. Murphy. Gabriel Q. Noguer. Caitlin Norton. Matthew T. Nugent. Justin Michael O'Brien. Cheyenne Josephine O'Careduvon. Karen I. O'Malley. Aaliyah Margaret O'Neill. Dylan Devlin O'Neill. Kyle R. Oberman. Nicholas Francis Palmer. Sneha K. Patel. Ryan T. Patton. James R. Pearson. Sean G. Phillips. Stephanie Rose Pizzella. Brianna Marie Price. Robert Michael Raleigh. Sarah Catherine Ranahan. Delia Kelly Regan. Madison Elizabeth Reed. Kayla A. Riccarelli. Zachary Paul Rinkus. Kirsten R. Riser. Chris T. Rossi. Connor James Roth. Justin Spillane Rowell. Brendan Burke Roy. Mackenzie Elizabeth Roy. Andres J. Renee. Rory Rose Ryan. Corey Samuelson. Amanda Christine Schaefer. Kendrick Hollis Shaw. Ryan E. Shaw. Christopher Joseph Shea. Samantha Lynn Shea. Erin E. Sheehan. Chelsea Alexis Smith. Evan R. Smith. Matt P. Smith. Nathaniel C. Smith. Noah Z. Smith. Travis Lane Smith. Matthew Kenneth Somero. Samantha Alice Sparrow. Christopher M. Spellman. Colleen Baldwin Spence. Liam Alexander Spence. Tyler Barry Spencer. Jenna Marie Stimson. Bridget G. Sullivan. Jacob D. Sullivan Hassan. Gabrielle Tamborella. Michaela Hope Tavares. Michael G. Tevens. Caroline Page Tinlin. Kaylin J. Tom. Sarah Ann Tormey. Thomas Robert Tremley. Mark Edward Turcott. Leah Marie Twig. Vanessa Alexis Van Buskirk. Grace Catherine Viviano. Joseph Charles Ward. Allison Lily Waterman. Kyle G. Watts. Alex T. Wengren. Ryan C. West. Julia Marie Weston. Brett Andrew Williams. Catherine M. Wingate. Justin P. Wolf. Trevor Quinn Woodworth. Charles Kennedy Wright. Audrey Wu. Benjamin T. Zioli.
At this time, I would ask that Class President Campbell join me at the podium. Would the class of 2018 please rise? Class President Campbell, would you please assist me in leading your classmates through the ceremonial transfer of tassels? School Committee Chairman Chilcott, members of the school committee, Superintendent Obie, I am able to certify to you that each of these diploma candidates has met or exceeded the requirements for graduation as established by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and the Pembroke Public Schools School Committee. They are worthy recipients of a Pembroke High School diploma. To the class of 2018, by the power vested in me by the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and by Pembroke Public Schools, I now pronounce you graduates.
Pembroke.